Hey, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to talk about how long will the Fallout 76 lifespan be. And what I mean by this is two things. The first thing I mean is how long is Bethesda Game Studios going to produce updates and DLC for Fallout 76, because it has been confirmed by Bethesda Game Studios that they are going to be releasing free updates and DLC for Fallout 76 for years to come. This was recently confirmed in an article. This was recently confirmed in a documentary on the making of Fallout 76 by NoClip, and that clip of the documentary is here.
Fallout 76 is a full-priced game, but the team is planning to support the game with free updates for years to come. The game will feature microtransactions, but Bethesda told us that these will only come in the form of cosmetics. Bethesda said that this is a crucial element of allowing them to support dedicated servers and keep DLC free, and that any purchasable cosmetics available will also be available to earn through gameplay.
So yeah, guys, the first thing I mean by how long will the Fallout 76 lifespan be is how long after Fallout 76's release, how long will Bethesda Game Studios continue to make free updates and DLC for the game? The second thing I mean by how long will the Fallout 76 lifespan be is how long will the Fallout 76 servers stay on. It has been confirmed by Bethesda Game Studios that Fallout 76 will run on dedicated servers. The kind of bad thing about dedicated servers is that eventually they will stop. They will end. And eventually Bethesda Game Studios will, at some point in time, stop taking care of the servers and kind of cause and make Fallout 76 go down and kind of end to where it isn't playable anymore. Or at least online anyway. So yeah, those are the two things we're going to talk about. So let's start with the fastest and quickest one to talk about, and that's how long will the Fallout 76 servers actually stay up. Now, in my opinion, I think the Fallout 76 servers are going to stay up anywhere between 8 to 12 years. And I know that sounds like a long time. However, I think this for a couple of reasons. One, Fallout 76 is a full $60 price game, and most online games cost half that. And a lot of online games have a really long lifespan. So for Fallout 76 servers to shut down 4 years, 5 years from now, 6 years from now would make a lot of people very upset. Because if we look at how long people play Fallout 4, people are still playing Fallout 4 today, and it's about 4 years later because it was released in 2015, so it's about 3 years later. So I don't see the Fallout 76 servers going down within 1 year, within 2 years, within 3 years, within 4 years, because that would be really ridiculous and cut it real short. And if the servers did go down and you couldn't play Fallout Online anymore or Fallout 76 anymore, a lot of people would be very angry and very upset. So I see the Fallout 76 servers or the lifespan being very long. I see it being about 8 to 12 years. Another reason I think that is because I think in about 12 years, we'll probably see the next Fallout. And I think whenever we get close to the next Fallout, that is probably when Bethesda Game Studios will kind of shut down the servers for Fallout 76 so everyone could move on to the new Fallout. And like I said, that'll probably be in about 8 to 12 years from now. And you could kind of calculate that because Bethesda Game Studios releases games every 3 to 4 years. We know they have 2 projects in the works, which are Starfield and the Elder Scrolls 6, and most likely after that will be the next Fallout. So you figure Starfield, if Bethesda Game Studios continues to release games every 3 to 4 years, Starfield will probably come out in 2021 to 2022. Then in the years 2024 to 2026, we'll probably see the Elder Scrolls 6. And then maybe between the years 2027 to 2030, we'll see the next Fallout. And whenever the next Fallout comes out, I think that's when, kind of the online services or the servers will shut down for Fallout 76, and Fallout 76 will no longer be playable online. I don't see the servers or Fallout 76 having a lifespan of longer than 8 to 12 years, because really beyond that, Bethesda probably would start losing money, because not only would the next Fallout probably be out by then, but a lot of people would have moved on to other games like Starfield, like the Elder Scrolls 6, and Fallout 76, like all online games, will eventually come to an end and eventually die, and that means the servers will eventually shut down, and I see that happening in about 8 to 12 years. But that's just my opinion. The servers could go on longer than that, or maybe shorter than that, but I don't think shorter. I think, they'll probably be up for another 8 to 12 years after the game releases, and then shut down, kind of 8 to 12 years later, after the game releases. But I don't see it going beyond 8 and 12 years, because the game will probably die down by then. The next Fallout will be out. People have moved on to titles like the Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield. And at that point, I think Bethesda Game Studios trying to maintain online services for Fallout 76, it'll still cost them money, and probably too much money. And they'll probably at that point be losing more money trying to maintain those online services than they'll be making back. And they'll probably eventually cut their losses and probably stop the online services for Fallout 76. Like I said, in my opinion, in about 8 to 12 years. The servers might not shut down in 8 to 12 years, but I think they will. They could go on longer than that, but I don't think so, because I think, any longer than 8 to 12 years, or any longer than 12 years, it'll become unprofitable and kind of a loss for them, and they're not going to have that. They'll just cut it loose. And most games, online services, do eventually go down and do eventually die, unless the player base for the game stays huge and gigantic. And although Fallout 76 will probably be a good online game, I think most of that fan base is, already Fallout fans. And whenever the next Fallout comes out, whenever the next Elder Scrolls comes out, whenever Starfield comes out, most of the fans will probably move on to that. And Fallout 76 will slowly deteriorate and die. And probably, like I said, in about 8 to 12 years, the service will shut down. It could go on longer than that, but I don't think so, just because most online games don't have a very long lifespan. So let's move on to the second thing I want to talk about regarding Fallout 76's lifespan. How long will Bethesda Game Studios continue to release updates and free DLC for Fallout 76 after it releases in 2018? So guys, I think we'll see free updates and free DLC for Fallout 76 for 4 years after the game's release, for 2 reasons. One, if you remember that NoClip documentary clip that we watched regarding, Fallout 76, they talk about how Fallout 76 is going to get free updates and DLCs for years to come. Plural world, years. They don't say 1 year, they don't say 2 year, they don't say 3 year, and I don't think they mean 3 years, but probably about 4 years I think would be good. And I think Bethesda Game Studios will continue to release updates and DLCs for Fallout 76 after it releases in 2018 for about 4 years. And also, we look at it, it's a $60 game, and if it's not updated and doesn't have regular DLCs regularly, for a while, people are going to be very upset and very mad. And people are probably still going to be playing the game heavily in 4 years. In 3 years, because, Starfield will probably be coming out in about 3 to 4 years. So people will probably still be playing Fallout 76. So I think in about 3 to 4 years, they'll stop producing regular free DLC and free update for Fallout 76. Another reason I think they'll stop producing free DLC and free updates for Fallout 76 4 years after its release, because in about 3 to 4 years from now, we'll probably get Starfield. Like I said, it has been confirmed by Bethesda Game Studios that Starfield will come on next generation consoles. Next gen consoles are reportedly going to come out in 2020. A lot of people are predicting that. I'm predicting that as well. A lot of people who focus on consoles, who talk about consoles all the time, also predict 2020. So I'm pretty sure it's a safe bet to say that next gen consoles will come out in 2020. It'll probably take Bethesda Game Studios maybe 1 or 2 years to get Starfield onto the next gen consoles. So in about 2021 or 2022, we'll see Starfield on next gen consoles. And also, like we talked about, Bethesda follows this 3 to 4 year, they release a game every 3 to 4 years, kind of like on a cycle. So I think, hey guys, Freakeasy from the future. And I want to add in something really quick that I should have probably mentioned in the video but didn't talk about. So when I talk about the 3 to 4 year cycle that Bethesda Game Studios releases games on, what I'm meaning is that Bethesda Game Studios usually releases a game every 3 to 4 years. We've seen this pattern for a very long time, and I think it will probably continue for a very long time. And what I mean is, if you look back at Fallout 3, that came out in 2008. If you look at 2011, which was 3 years later, we got the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. And then if you look at 2015, you got Fallout 4, which was 4 years later. And then if you look at 3 years later now, we're getting Fallout 76. So that's what I mean by Bethesda Game Studios releases a game every 3 to 4 years. So yeah, anyways guys, I gotta get back to the future, and I just wanted to add that in there, and I'll see you guys later. And for those of you who wonder what the future's like, Todd Howard's president, and it's not good. It's not good. So yeah guys, I'll leave you where I left off, and yeah, bye. They release a game every 3 to 4 years, kind of like on a cycle. So I think, in about 3 to 4 years, when Starfield comes out, that's when we'll see an end to Fallout 76 updates and DLC. Because if they don't stop producing updates and free DLC for Fallout 76, in about 3 to 4 years, then it would cut into the profit margins of Starfield, because we could kind of speculate and predict that Starfield will come out in about 3 to 4 years, even though it will be on next-gen consoles. And I think if Bethesda Game Studios continues to produce free updates and free DLC for Fallout 76, in 3 to 4 years, it would cut into the profit margins of Starfield, and I don't think Bethesda Game Studios would want that. So I think before Starfield comes out, which will probably be in about 3 to 4 years, in 2021 to 2022, I think that's when we'll see an end to Fallout 76 updates and DLCs. Because if they made more than that or went on longer than that, it would cut into the profit margins of Starfield, and I don't think they would want that. Anyways, guys, that's just my two predictions, or my prediction on how long the Fallout 76 lifespan will be. First of all, I think we'll see free updates and free DLCs for Fallout 76 for about 3 to 4 years after the game's released, until Starfield comes out. Then we talked about how long will the servers be maintained, and kind of how long will Fallout 76 stay online. I think about 8 to 12 years, because in about 8 to 12 years, people will have moved on to other games like Starfield, like the Elder Scrolls 6, and when the next Fallout comes out, most people will be moving on to those games, and Fallout 76 will probably be a little dead by that time. Nobody will be playing it anymore, and it will just cost Bethesda more money to keep the online servers for Fallout 76 up than they would make off Fallout 76 at that point. So in about 8 to 12 years, I kind of see Fallout 76 servers going down and dying down, and the game being offline and not playable anymore. Maybe it'll be playable on private servers, but I don't think it'll be playable on dedicated servers, and I think, it'll kind of shut down after about 8 to 12 years, for the main online portion. And then you could probably play on private servers for, forever if you wanted to. But I see, the online, the main servers, the dedicated servers going down in about 8 to 12 years. Anyways, guys, that's just my prediction on the lifespan of Fallout 76. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have a video idea, want me to talk about something Fallout 76 related, leave it down in the description below. I will be talking about Starfield and the Elder Scrolls 6 eventually. However, I want to wait till I'm kind of done with all my Fallout 76 content. And then, once I'm kind of finished, you know, with all my ideas for Fallout 76, then we'll move on to some Starfield and some Elder Scrolls 6 prediction, speculation, wish list, kind of videos like that. Anyways, love each and every single one of you. Hope to see you guys right back here tomorrow. And remember to stay freaky. Bye, everyone. Whew.